What is good is the attention that Johnny Manziel is getting for the Canadian Football League as a whole. Now, obviously, it's the Hamilton Tiger Cats. But if I'm watching ESPN and NFL Live, can you think of a time where they'd be going live to their person up to Canada, number one? So even a game, Dave, let alone a preseason game.
No.
How about a camp?
No.
Camp. So once again, courtesy of ESPN, they continue to cover Johnny Manziel. And now, to be honest, the way that they're doing it, it seems to get a little smoother, a little better. And what I think is interesting, in the first comments that we saw about this, the only thing they talked about was Warren Moon and Doug Flutie. Well, they are starting to do some research, and more CFLs being seen in terms of its depth. And I think it's impressive. Once again, property of ESPN.
As I mentioned, is covering Manziel. Mike, how committed do you believe Johnny Manziel to be to the CFL?
When I spoke to Manziel, he said that he's not quite calling this his last chance at playing professional football, but he does understand the gravity of the situation for him. And those around here have been impressed with him. He took a red-eye flight over the weekend from Los Angeles, went to Buffalo, had to go through customs, and then finally got to Hamilton, where he had to go straight to press conferences and then meetings. And he's been practicing now 5 straight days this week. So a big adjustment for Johnny Manziel, but he's actually living behind me in these dorms here at McMaster University, a long way from Toronto, a long way from Los Angeles as well. So a much different lifestyle where Johnny Manziel will have to be committed to football for at least the next couple of years for the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
You know, Mike, I mentioned right now he's the backup quarterback. They say that will stand for the entirety of the season. He's one of 5 quarterbacks on this roster. How has he looked to you?
Yeah, he's been pretty accurate the 2 days that I've watched practice here. He went through a no-huddle drill yesterday, went 7 of 8 passing, and then threw a touchdown as well. And a lot of his teammates were quite impressed with that drive. I spoke to Luke Tasker, the son of former NFL player Steve Tasker, and he said it was really Manziel's arm that impressed him on that drive. And Jalen Saunders as well, a former Oklahoma receiver who played against him in college. He said Manziel might actually be better here than he was back at Texas A&M, but a few hiccups along the way. We watched practice today, and there was another drill where Manziel actually forgot to play and was running the wrong play out there. The coach was kind of laughing about it after practice, but certainly some progress here for Johnny Manziel from when he first got here on Sunday, and the arrow's certainly pointing up for him as we head towards the first preseason game of the Tiger Cats next week.
All right, Mike, thank you. Certainly no shortage of NFL players with CFL ties. Let's take a look at some of the more notable players. How about Hall of Famer Warren Moon? I can say the Edmonton Eskimos, that I can do, which is where he started his pro career before a 17-year NFL career. And then who can forget Doug Flutie? He spent 4 years in the NFL. Before he went to the BC Lions, he was the CFL's most outstanding player 6 times before his return to play 8 more seasons. Jeff Garcia, his CFL career started in Calgary as Flutie's backup. He was Grey Cup MVP in 1998, then hooked on with the NFL, signing with the 49ers, and then he went on to 4 Pro Bowls. And many people forget Cameron Wake. He went undrafted, got his start in the CFL, playing with the BC Lions. He joined the Dolphins in 2009, his 92 sacks, the second most by an undrafted player since that stat became official in 1982. So it does happen.
Don't forget about Bill Polian.
Were you a CFL scout?
Bombers.
Or player? Or both?
For the Montreal Grey Cup winning Montreal Alouettes.
Grey Cup winning.
And personnel director for the Grey Cup winning Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
How about that?
Listen, forget that Hall of Fame stuff. There were some Grey Cup winning situations going on long before that.
I love this for Johnny Manziel. I mean, I get it. Everybody's just going to continue to rip him, but
no, I don't think everyone's ripping him.
You don't think so? It's not like a joke anymore. Or?
I would disagree to a point. I think everybody wants to see a young person get their life on track.
I hope so.
I think people recognize he's making an evolution and appreciate the fact that he seems to be more humble and willing to go through the steps in the process, and he realizes where he is in his life in terms of rehabilitating on the life side as well.
Good.
What? We just become best friends?
Yep.